Welcome everyone to Rogue Palettes. I'm Luke, your host. Today we've got a project to work on that I found while going through some of my old stuff. I came across this old tabletop that I had made, and it was a failed project. Unfortunately, it didn't pan out. The tabletop here failed. The idea has not. The idea was to take pallet boards of all different kinds, poplar, pine, bass, maybe some oak, maybe some maple, who really knows, because I wasn't going to plane them or sand them at all. I just stripped them on the table saw, so it didn't really matter even if they bowed a little bit, or if one was thicker than the other. It didn't really matter, because the idea was to just, as long as I had straight edges, I didn't even really have to have straight edges. I just laid them diagonal across the width of this table, and they were sticking out on the edges, and so I just ripped those with the circular saw. And the idea was that the surface would have been purely epoxy, and I would have filled the epoxy to the highest board in the whole set. Whichever board stuck out the highest, I was going to fill it to that height, and then sand off that and put another finish of epoxy. Well, unfortunately, my table wasn't level, and all the epoxy flew into one corner, and I tried to remedy that by putting more in, and it just didn't work. It just was one disaster after another. I built a makeshift router table. I don't even have a router right now, but I used to, and I used that router table to go back and forth. Something wasn't right. Either this whole tabletop itself was bowed, or my router sled was not functioning properly, but it took wood off on this side, and it still has epoxy over here. I don't know how well you can see that, but it didn't really work. So what I realized that I can do with this, though, because I had another piece, is I can make coasters out of this. So I'm going to run it through the planer and get it down to about a ½ inch. I think this is a ½ inch thick. Yes. I get it down to 1/2 inch with the planer, and then use my jigsaw to cut coasters out of it. In another video, maybe we'll mock up another one of these for some more coasters, or maybe we'll just make a table out of it. I think it's a really cool pattern. I like it, and I think in the future too, there's a lot of opportunity to, run multiple different patterns, but with this same idea. And I really like epoxy, specifically liquid glass, but it's super expensive, and so I wasted $100 on this table. I digress. Now that I think about it, when I put this together, I was going for authenticity, and unfortunately, I believe I left some nail heads in there. So yeah, we're just really gonna hope that we don't hit any of the nail heads. Change of plans. I did find a nail head that is sticking up pretty far, so we're gonna cut this off with the circular saw, and then we'll send the rest of it through the planer. All right, all done with the planing. That's all I'm gonna do with it. I'm not going to take it anymore. Oops. All the epoxy shavings. Well, it worked over my little planer. I think I may need new blades. All these little scratch marks. You guys can let me know in the comments if you happen to know, but I'm guessing that planer needs new blades. Alright guys, well there it is. That's what you have. I think it's really cool. I like it. That in the center is actually a nail hole. You can see right through it, and it's epoxy filled, so it's kind of cool. As a matter of fact, you can actually see the gap right there on that board. It's pretty cool. I like it, and once I put a finishing gloss on it, it'll look really good.
Wow!
Alright guys. What do you think? Come over here in the light. What do you think? Don't be too hypercritical. I did have to do these without a router, so I wasn't able to put a nice edge on them. But as you can see, there's that crack and the hole in the middle. Nice gloss. I will put another coat on these once this one dries, but honestly, I think they look pretty darn snazzy. Let's see over in this light. There's a crack in that one. I just noticed it while I was putting the polyurethane on. I might have to put some glue in that, but maybe I'll just keep that one. I really like that piece of maple. I think that's maple right there down the center. Anyways, I think they turned out pretty cool. Maybe, just maybe, I'll make my money back out of them. Well guys, I think it turned out pretty good, all things considered. I really like them, and I'm hoping that they fetch pretty well on the market. We'll see you guys next time.